So I watched a recent video from DawahFilms. He's talking about Sharia law, and um, I would say, he has a moderate take on it, but it still seems a bit authoritarian for my taste. But he's talking about adultery and asking why shouldn't adultery uh, be illegal, or why shouldn't it be punishable? After all, it's harmful. It has harmful to society. It's harm to society, and he brings up a bunch of different harms that it causes. Some of which don't really have to do with adultery. Like he brings up teen pregnancy, which is more about fornication. And if fornication were illegal, then just about everyone I know, including myself, would be a criminal. Um, but anyway, the yeah, as for adultery, I think it brings up an interesting issue. Um, which is the relationship between law and morality. There's a lot of people who say that the government shouldn't be in the business of legislating morality, and I think that's an overly simplistic way of putting it, because there clearly is some sort of correlation between the two. I mean, um, murder is both illegal and immoral. Stealing is both illegal and immoral. Um, Now, sometimes the morality can be more nuanced than the law can really allow. I mean, the law, and sometimes like, uh, yeah, you may maybe sometimes where stealing might actually have a more positive outcome, but the law can't make those kind of judgment calls. So they have to say that it's always illegal. Um, but yeah, there's you have to look at you know should everything that's immoral be illegal, and on the other hand, can there be things that are illegal that aren't necessarily immoral? And I definitely want to come down in the letter and say that generally we should not be outlawing anything that isn't immoral, um, with the caveat that sometimes regulation requires that you um, make sure things are done a certain way that done in and of themselves they might not be illegal, but that might not be immoral, but as a sort of safety precaution, it's necessary to mandate that they done a certain way. Um, but on the other side, should all things that are immoral be illegal? And I think, adultery certainly is immoral in my opinion. I think that actually I'm quite disturbed that it seems to be taken a little bit more lightly in this society than it should be. I mean, I really do wish people would take their marriage vows more seriously. Um, and it's not a quote unquote victimless crime in the way that say drug use is. I mean, I think that there's nothing wrong with smoking a joint and you're not hurting anyone other than yourself, but you know, but when it comes to cheating on your wife, you're clearly hurting her. But I think when you look at adultery, there's all kinds of nuances that. Well, first of all, you have to figure out how it's going to be enforced, and yeah, there's this fear of the law getting into your bedroom, trying to investigate adultery cases, and I think that's first of all kind of a waste of resources. I mean, if we're going to punish adultery anywhere, it should be in divorce court, where it's taken into account when deciding things about alimony and child custody and things like that. Um, but so but then there's also like there's all kinds of nuances in terms of what constitutes adultery. I mean, some people have open marriages where it's like they can where they have an understanding that they'll be seeing people on other people on the side. Sometimes that's one way, sometimes it's both ways. a lot of marriages where women marry a guy who they know is a philanderer, and they're okay with that. They just want the security of having him there to support her financially, and that's fine. If both parties are okay with that, then that's fine. So it's more of like, um, I mean, I think you have to, how does the law differentiate between those two? And maybe you're going to say that those kind of open marriages are immoral, and I would have to disagree. I think that there's that not everyone is necessarily made to be monogamous. I mean, I'm a big fan of monogamy, but there's different different strokes for different folks, so to speak. Um, so yeah, I mean, I fear that any law against adultery would go too far into mandating monogamy when I think that that's not a healthy thing. That there really ought to be different choices for different people. Um, but yeah, it's so. I guess more broadly speaking, what is the role of law? How is it related to morality? And I think that law is about maximizing people's freedoms while minimizing the harm that they can do to others. Um, yeah, and without restricting the freedom in itself. Like, I don't know if that made sense. Um, it's sort of like, the purpose of law is to make a more peaceful society, to make society more harmonious, and ensure that there is restitution for victims, um, peace and security for society, and yeah, and opportunities for people to be restored to society and rehabilitated. So, um, so yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're gonna make adultery something you could go to civil court for and sue for, I don't know. I could conceive of some way that maybe you can make that work. But I just think that's a big can of worms that you don't necessarily want to open. So, anyway, I guess that's it for now. Peace.